Welcome back to Mac Talks Football. And Andoni Iraola is going to be the new Liverpool manager. The deal is agreed, done, and sealed. He is going to be the new manager of Liverpool club, replacing Ancelotti, who was sacked earlier this week. And Iraola was one of the front runners to get the Liverpool job. And today it has been agreed that he is going to be a Liverpool manager. There were demands for Iraola from all over Europe. AC Milan were interested in him. Bayer Leverkusen were very close, on to get him as well. But in the end, he has rejected both Milan and Leverkusen, and he has decided to come into Liverpool to become their new head coach, to become their new manager. And if I'm being very honest, I think it's a very, very smart appointment for Liverpool. I said in my previous video as well, I think the names that were coming out were Ariola and Appiah Sarge of Alonso. These were the two names that were really, really, getting linked with the job. And I said as well that, the advantage that Ariola is going to have is that he has managed in the Premier League for about 3 years. So that Premier League experience is going to be really, really crucial, and I think that has really tilted the decision in his favor. And even from Ariola's side, trying to go to a new league in Italy or in Germany for Leverkusen or Milan, or staying in a league that he knows quite well, where he has managed for about 3 years. I think that also helped in getting a decision towards Liverpool side as well. So I think both the parties would have agreed that they want to bring in a manager who has already worked in the league, who knows the league quite well, and that they don't really have to start from scratch in that regard. And same for Ariola, he doesn't want to go into a league that he doesn't know really that well. Of course, he watches football. He knows about the clubs and he looks at them and whatnot, and he knows about the players in Germany and Italy. But the way that he would know about the Premier League and the clubs and the players of the Premier League, he wouldn't know about them. So I think that's sort of, in my opinion, that's the mutual decision that both of them would have looked at. And I think that is one of the criteria in a way that both would have decided to get together. Liverpool bringing in a manager his experience in the Premier League, and Ariola himself is going to a club who is already in the Premier League. And apart from that, I think I always said he's a great manager. I think in my opinion, I said it before, I think he's a better manager than Arne Slot. I have never been a big fan of Arne Slot, even though he won the Premier League last year. And if I said it last year as well, it is not Arne Slot's doing. Let's be very honest. He got a perfect score made by Jurgen Klopp. It was given to him, and then Mohamed Salah had a fantastic season. And Arsenal had a season with suspensions and injuries, and Manchester City were dismantled, and Liverpool ended up winning the Premier League title a year before. This was the year. This was the year where Arne Slot had to prove himself. He spent about £500 million quid, in bringing the players in, and he had everything there, and he ended up failing. And he did not fail in a way, he failed miserably, barely making the Champions League in the end, losing so many games. The amount of games that Liverpool have never lost, in a league in their history since the Premier League was, the Premier League was started. So that shows how poor he has been. And you compare him to Ariola and what the stuff that he has done at Bournemouth, at, with such a shoestring budget, and coming into the Bournemouth team, the first job was to make sure that they are not relegated. And the way that he has made them progress, keeping them in the Premier League, getting them to mid-table, getting them into top 10, and qualifying for Europe for the first time in the history, and along the way playing great, a beautiful football. The way Liverpool would want their team to play football. If we are being very honest, if this season you would have had the chance to watch Liverpool play, or you would have had the chance to Bournemouth play, even as a Liverpool fan, entertainment-wise and whatnot, you would have preferred to watch a Bournemouth play, because Liverpool were not that exciting, Liverpool were not that entertaining, and Bournemouth on the other hand was really pleasant to watch. It was really good football for Ariola, and Liverpool fans want that at their club. And I think he's gonna come in and he's gonna bring that flair to Liverpool's game as well. And in a way, it is sort of a clean slate for Liverpool. You have big players like Salah leaving, you have Robertson leaving, Son, this one. The manager is going as well. There are rumors that Alisson might end up leaving. Liverpool want to keep him as well, but it'll be interesting to see what Rio decides to do when he comes in as well. I think it's going to be a very big summer for Liverpool. They already have a good enough players. They have a great squad. I just felt they were not managed properly. You could just see how far a slot had fallen when Salah made that post and so many players liked it. Even when it was announced that Slot was sacked, the post that the cryptic post that a lot of the players put out just shows how unpopular he was. And I think Areola is a sort of a manager, that sort of a man manager. He's like it felt like at Bournemouth he was very close to his players, and I think Liverpool's dressing room needs something like that. A guy that they can easily talk to, and Arne Slot never really came across like that. He sort of felt like that, he was always he kept his distance, and I think that is going to be a main difference. I think tactically, I think Areola is better. We know the type of football he's going to play. It's not going to be that much of a surprise, and I think Liverpool have the players that are going to be that are going to really benefit from Areola's style of football, and they're going to really benefit that he's coming into the club. I think players like Isaac, I think players like Watts, who are not really really able to do good things under a Slot. I think they are going to be really happy that Areola is coming in as well. And of course, Areola himself would want to bring in some new players. That is why I keep on saying the appointment is really really good. I'm really happy in a way that it's going to be it's a good appointment for Liverpool. I think is going to change something. I think it's going to be a more influential, much more than Arne Slot was. Again, I understand, to replace a Klopp would have been a big deal, and he won the Premier League in his first season. But this is the same thing. People are not going to judge him on that first season. People are going to judge him on this season because everybody expected Liverpool to hit new heights, and they have really been pissed for this whole season. And Areola needs to take change. That there's negativity around the club, the way the things have been handled. One of their biggest, a player, a legend of the club, the way he was ruled, basically thrown out of the club in Mohamed Salah. So Areola has a big job, coming into the club. He needs to get the dressing room together. He needs to bring the players. He needs to get that connection back with the fans, because there is quite uncertainty at the moment with Liverpool and their fans. Fans have wanted Slot to go. A lot of the fans have wanted Slot to go for a long time, and they have not done that. They finally did that. They bring in a a young and experienced. This is very important. He's an experienced manager, but he's still a young manager. So there's a time where Areola can manage for a longer period at Liverpool, but he needs to do something good. He needs to prove to the fans and the board that he is the right guy for the job. And I personally feel he's the right guy for the job. I think he's going to be much more successful than Arne thought. I think the way he's going to play football is going to be much more entertaining, and I just feel his managing style is much better than Slot's was. I don't really want to take shots at Slot, because but I still feel he was not the right guy for the Liverpool job, and I think Areola is going to be much better than that. The main thing for me is going to be the summer, especially the deals that they are going to do in the summer. If I'm being very honest with you, I think it's going to be at hold because of the World Cup starting in about 10 days. And after that, the players that they bring in, I think that is going to be very crucial. And Liverpool need to be smart. They've spent a good amount of money, as I said, £500 million last year. So they cannot really again go out and spend that much, but they need to be very smart. And I think that's where Areola is going to come in handy, because he worked with such a a string shoe budget at Bournemouth. He knows how to identify good players who don't really who are not valued that much. You don't really have to pay that much price. He's a manager that is going to improve the players that he already has, and I think that's what Liverpool really need. And I think that he's going to be really influential in that regard. So yeah, for me, a great appointment for Liverpool, and a great choice from Areola as well, for him as well. Let me know what you guys think of the appointment. Do you think it is a good appointment, and do you think he will be successful, or do you think they have jumped the gun with Scott and they should have given him one more time? Let me know in the comment section below. Like the video, share it as well, click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 600 subscribers as quickly as possible, so please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. Until next time, bye bye.